And today I'm very excited to share with you a robot that performs really well. It is a NASDAQ Expert Advisor that I have developed myself, and I'm very excited to share with all of you so you can test it yourself, and if you find it useful, I'll be super happy to know about it. And if you're a complete beginner, I will show you how to backtest this Expert Advisor. I will explain the strategy behind that robot, and you will see why it is a great thing to trade with robots, because we put the emotions away. We don't care if we are in official recession, if the stock market is crashing or not, because with the Expert Advisor we are buying and selling all the time, no matter where the market is, and especially it doesn't matter what's the hawkish mood of Papa Pau. And in all of my videos I explain the trading rules for the Expert Advisors, because I believe that if you are trading with a robot, you need to know exactly when and why this Expert Advisor will be opening trades. And if you are trading NASDAQ, you need to know what the NASDAQ is. Just like Dow Jones tracks 30 large companies, or the so-called blue chip firms, and S&P 500 tends to be broader in bigger representation of companies from different sectors and different groups, the NASDAQ includes stocks that are just traded on the NASDAQ market. And this is everything you need to know about the NASDAQ, honestly. Instead of focusing on theories and technical stuff, I prefer to focus on the strategies that I'll be trading with. I spend a lot of time in developing Expert Advisors, and I share the best ones with you. So thank you guys so much for following my videos, and if you appreciate all of that, I'll be super happy if you smash the like button, which will be great for the YouTube algorithm. And as well, huge thanks to the sponsor of today's video, BlackBull Markets, but more on that later. Now, if you want to learn more about this NASDAQ Expert Advisor, stay with me until the end, and let's go straight to the point. Hello everyone, it's Alexandrov. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you're ready to learn about a great strategy that I have created some time ago for the NASDAQ, and I have been testing it on a live account. Works really nice. It uses moving averages crossover as an entry rule and awesome oscillator as an exit rule. So let me explain exactly what is the strategy behind the robot, or what are the rules that make this NASDAQ Expert Advisor open and close trades, so you can decide for yourself if this is a strategy you want to be trading with. The entry rule is that the fast moving average should cross the slow moving average upward. And check this out, we have 4 and 8, fast moving average period of 4, slow moving average period of 8. So whenever the 4 crosses the 8 upwards, we have a buy signal. If it crosses downwards, we have a sell signal. And right in here you can see that the fast goes above the slow moving average, and on the opening of this bar we have a long trade. Right in here we have the same long signal, so the fast moving average goes above the slow moving average, and at the opening of the next bar we have a long trade. See what happened? The take profit was here, so here is the stop loss and here is the take profit. Now the stop loss is 6,000 pips and take profit of 9,000 pips, or this is $60 from the NASDAQ price as a stop loss and $90 from the NASDAQ price as a take profit. Alright, so it depends with how many digits is your broker, and if the stop loss and the take profit are not reached, we have the awesome oscillator with the rule that awesome oscillator crosses the level line upward, and we should close the trade if this rule is on place. Now the balance chart with the strategy is really stable for the last 6 months. On EA Studio, you will see very similar thing on MetaTrader. And if I go to the report and I show you the stats information, you will see that this strategy is not that active. You will have an open trade about 8-9% from the time it was tested 115 times, and we have maximum consecutive losses 4, which is pretty good. 19% maximum drawdown, but this is if you are trading on a 10k account and if you are using 10 lots as a position. And you will see that for the last 6-7 months this strategy reached $32,000 of a profit. And now let me show you step by step how to place this NASDAQ Expert Advisor on on MetaTrader and how to backtest it with the sponsor of today's video, BlackBull Markets. So once you download the Expert Advisor from the description, you need to find NASDAQ on the market watch, right click and go to chart window. This will open a new chart and make sure you are on the H1 time frame, because this Expert Advisor is designed for the H1 time frame. Then you need to go to File, Open Data folder, click on MQL4, hit on Experts and paste the Expert Advisor. Then you can double click on it and you will see the code for the Expert Advisor. If you are a developer, you are welcome to modify it. If you don't know anything about programming, just like me, I would suggest you not touching it. Or if you want to transfer this code to TradingView script, for example, and trade it on that platform, you can do that. However, the only thing you need to do to backtest this Expert Advisor on MetaTrader is hit on compile, and then you will see the Expert Advisor in your navigator's tab. Hit on the plus icon in front of Expert Advisors and you will see it right below. Then drag and drop it over the chart, and here will be the inputs, the desired lot size and the magic number on the bottom, which allows us to track the performance if we trade many Expert Advisors in one account. And I have recorded such a video that you can check right in the corner. Now I will hit on OK, and then I will right click on the chart. I will go to Expert Advisors and I will hit on Strategy Tester. I will stick to open prices as a model, which means that the Expert Advisor opens new positions at the opening of the bar if the rules are in place. And then I will just hit on start and the backtest is extremely fast. Okay, I will go to results and here are all the orders that executed with the broker. You can see that the balance grows up until 32,348.98. This is the graph, so pretty much the very same graph as we have on EI Studio, but here it is just wide, and in EI Studio we have it in a small window. And if I go to the report, you will see that with MetaTrader it shows 113 trades, and on EI Studio we had 115, so it's very close. You can see that the balance chart shows 32,157, and one more time with the MetaTrader it shows 32,348. And in one of my previous videos I have compared the trades from EI Studio and MetaTrader Backtester, and they are quite similar, like 98 or 99% if you export properly the data, which I already have done. I have exported the historical data from BlackBull Markets into EI Studio to build that Expert Advisor, because this is where I'll be trading this Expert Advisor on the server of BlackBull Markets, and this is why I want to make sure that the strategy I have created on EI Studio will have the very same backtest on MetaTrader. And because I have over 100 trades for the last 6 months, it is expected to do well in the future. However, keep in mind that there is never a guarantee that the Expert Advisors will continue being profitable even if we have a great backtest. This is why whenever you're watching that video and you download this NASDAQ Expert Advisor, make sure to backtest it so you'll see how it does in the most recent period of time. But when you have over 100 trades for the last 6 months or so, and the strategy shows such a positive result, one more time, you can see the balance starting from 10K and then growing up to 32K something. That is pretty decent strategy, isn't it? And by looking at the report, you will see that profit factor is 1.75, which means that we have more profits than losses, and profit factor above 1 is a good thing. As I said in some of my previous videos, this means that we have more profits than losses with the strategy. Now we have a pretty balanced exposure between short positions and long positions, which is something we are looking for, and the maximum consecutive losses according to MetaTrader 4 backtester are 4 as well, and we have consecutive wins 5, which means that for these 100 trades that were executed in the backtest, it never happened that the strategy will have more than 4 consecutive losses in a row. And I'm pretty happy trading such strategies because we don't have huge drawdowns and we have a very stable equity line. Now the spread with NASDAQ on BlackBull markets is $1.60 from the price, which is pretty good according to me, and that's one of the reasons I'm using BlackBull markets when trading indexes. I'll drop a link down below in the description to their website so you can check all the account types they have, the different conditions, and if you decide, you can test the broker with a demo account. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for sponsoring. And now let me show you how this very same strategy would look like on TradingView. Now this strategy that you see on AI Studio, you can implement on any trading platform, TradingView, or any web-based platform you are using. Just insert the moving averages, or these are 2 simple moving averages, fast 1 period 4, slow period of 8. Whenever the fast moving average crosses the slow moving average upward, this is our buy signal. The opposite applies for the short trade. So whenever the fast crosses the slow one downwards, we have a sell signal, and the awesome escalator crossing the level line upward is our exit for the long trade, and the opposite is for the short trade. Stop loss of $60 from the NASDAQ price and take profit of 90, secure quick profits, and the first protects the capital from bigger losses. And as I said at the beginning of the video, you don't really need to spend a lot of time learning theory and knowing all the stocks that are in the NASDAQ, because it is just useless. All you need is a strategy that performs well until the moment you can trade it easily on a decent broker, and you can improve your trading with the time. And that's the most important thing I've learned during the years I've spent trading with expert advisors. The markets change, so we cannot expect that one robot will work forever with the same parameters. This is why I keep an eye on the expert advisors. I constantly test them on demo and live accounts. I use professional tools like AI Studio and FSB Pro to show me which are the better parameters. And whenever there is a drastic change on the market, I just update the parameters of the expert advisor so I can trade with strategies that are relevant to the most recent market conditions. And quite many times I read on different forums and socials that people grab expert advisors, buy them from the market, or they develop themselves, and at what moment they say the expert advisor stopped working. Well, the expert advisors do not stop working. What happens is the market changes. The expert advisors are just code that represents the strategy. And whenever the entry rule is there and the exit rule is there, we have trades opening and closing respectively. So if the robot stopped making profits, that's a different story. It means the market changed and the parameters of the indicators are not suitable as they used to be in the previous market conditions. This is why it is essentially important whenever you're watching this video, just backtest the robot as I showed to you, and you will see how it performs at the moment you are testing it. And of course, having a backtest is way more than having nothing, right? If you are just testing indicators up and down on demo account, you will not be able to have a precise conclusion whether the strategy is profitable or not, because you need minimum 100 trades to be executed super precisely and without a miss, meaning that if you do that manually, you will miss some trades during the day because you cannot execute the trades 24/7, right? It is impossible for the human to do it. This is why in 21st century we use expert advisor builders, and if you want to learn more about how to use one, here is a video that will be super useful to you. Now I thank you for watching. Go grab the free robot down from the description and don't be afraid to test it on a demo account. It's nothing to lose. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in another video.